Hi there, and welcome to today's video, which is number 6.2 on trig ratios. And this is a mixture of sine and cosine practice. One of the things, as I said at the very beginning of this, is the ability to determine which equation you're going to use and when you're going to use it. And that's probably almost as difficult as actually doing the calculations. Because if you work through the videos, you realize they're not that bad. All right, so this one, lovely little diagram there, it says find x and y. So to start out with, what are we going to do first? Yeah, same thing we do every single time. Let's do some labeling. There's my hypotenuse. I'm going to go around the corner where my angle is, which makes this adjacent and this side opposite. Sometimes it gets confusing because it's like, well, which one am I supposed to do first? I don't know, whatever makes you happy. Let's do x first. So let's just label that we are going to find x. Well, what do we know? X is my adjacent and y, and I have a hypotenuse. So adjacent and hypotenuse is, ta-da, cosine. So cosine theta is equal to adjacent over hypotenuse. General formula first. Now we're going to plug in the numbers we have. And we have an angle of 36 degrees. This is my adjacent, which is x, denote, over hypotenuse of 7. And that's my checkpoint before I go any further. I need to make sure I have two numbers and one unknown. So we're good to go. So cos, oops, you guys can't see over there. Cos 36. Okay, now I have to move this up here so I can write. 0.8090 is x over 7. To solve that, I'm going to cross multiply because I know if this one or this one is missing, the easiest way to solve for it is just cross multiply. So this way, and I'm going to finish working up here. I'm going to get 1 times x is 0.8090 times 7. So 1 times x is just plain old x. And I'm going to use my calculator here. And it already has that number on it, including a little bit of extra information that I kind of got rid of when I rounded. So I can just, instead of clearing it, I can just go times 7 and get my answer. 5.663. I'm going to look at my question. My question rounds to the nearest whole number. So I'm going to say x is equal to 6. I can't say too much at this point other than that's a possible answer because my hypotenuse has got to be my longest side. So 6 could work. Now let's do the other half of the question. Let's find y. I'm going to use it using my trig functions because you know what, this is practice on my trig functions. I could use Pythagorean's theorem to solve it, but there's going to be an error in my answer because this was actually 5.66 and I rounded it into 6. And if I take 6 and 7 and use a Pythagorean's theorem, I know my answer is going to be off because of that rounding. However, if I use my trig functions and go back, as always, to the original question, the original given information, I'm not going to have those errors. I'll show you what that looks like in a minute. All right, so now we're going to do y, and that is opposite and hypotenuse. Again, I don't want to use this number because it might be, well, because I rounded it. I was going to say, first of all, it might be wrong, but secondly, I know for sure I rounded it, so I don't want to use it in further calculations. So I can use sine theta. Is opposite over hypotenuse. So sine 36 is opposite. Now I'm going to put y in there. I could have just left it as opposite. I see over here I flipped to the x, so we'll kind of keep it consistent. And my hypotenuse is 7. So sine 36, 0.8 degrees there, 5879. And the process is almost identical to that. I'm going to put a 1 on the bottom and my cross multiply. 1 times y is equal to 0.5879 times 7. And my calculator over here. I'm going to go times 7. And y is equal to 4.11. And if I'm going to round like I have been before, that is the best job that we can do. Couple of things. If you wanted to check, and I'm going to show you what happens here. I think I've got enough time in the video. Okay, let me make it clear. Question is done. We got the two answers. We got x and y. We're done. However, let's say you're paranoid or you want to practice Pythagorean theorem. You can use that to check that, because if you know you have three sides of a right triangle, it should work out. So hypotenuse squared is equal to side squared plus side squared. Now hypotenuse is 7 squared. My first side is 6 squared plus 4 squared. So 49 is equal to 36 plus 16. 36 plus 16, I'm not thinking that's 49. It's 52. Now, what the heck? Well, remember I said these numbers are going to be off because we rounded? So my math up here is still okay, but this difference is due to rounding. And I'm such a big math nerd, I want to show you. I want to prove to you that's why there's a mistake. Do it again. We know our hypotenuse is, whoopsies, I'm going to bring that down, is exactly 7 because the question gave us that. So 7 squared. But when we did the first side, it was actually 5.663. And when we did the second one, oh, I guess I should have carried another decimal point, but that's okay. 4.11. So 49 is equal to, now let's see what happens here. 5.663 squared, 32.069. I'm just writing them all. Plus 4.11 squared, 16.8921. Now I'm going to add those together. 32.069569. All right, so then I get 49 is equal to 48.961669. Okay, so you can see when I carried more decimal places, my answers are closer. Okay, so closer because decimals. And I guess the more decimals you carry, the closer it's going to be. But this is the check. I would look at that and say, yep, this one I'd be like, did I make a mistake? We didn't. But it was just because we did an awful, there was a big jump here with the rounding and a bit of a jump there too. All right, so there you go. Some sine and cos practice. And that's the end of this one. Have a marvelous day.